Two tests are carried out on an aqueous solution of copper 2 sulfate, with the formula shown here. Test 1 is the addition of potassium iodide solution, and test 2 is the addition of barium chloride solution. And for this question, we have to pick which of the following statements are true. So it could either be just one that's true or a combination of the three statements. So let's think about what happens during each of these tests. So these are some of the test tube reactions that you need to learn. So these are some really cool style questions here. So the first one to think about is going to be our addition of barium chloride solutions. This is test 2, and we use this to test for sulfate ions, which we have in our copper sulfate compound, and therefore we will see the positive test, which is the production of a white precipitate, which is the barium sulfate solid there. So that means that statement 2 is definitely correct. So from our options A, B, C and D, we can eliminate option D so far. So now let's have a think about what observations we will see for test 1. So test 1 is the addition of potassium iodide solution. And what we will get is the reaction of the iodide ions with the copper 2 plus ions from these solutions. This is another recall reaction, and this is going to be a redox reaction. And reaction will be as follows. This is the ionic equation. So we have our copper 2 plus ions in solution reacting with the iodide ions from the potassium iodide solution. And from this, we produce copper iodide solid and iodine solution. So just balancing this up, we're going to need to have to balance the charges and the oxidation states. So we have a neutral charge on the right-hand side. We currently have a 1 plus charge on the left-hand side. We can also see that we've got 3 iodines on the right and 1 on the left. But if we put a 3 in front of this iodide ion here, this will still not give us balanced charges. So we're going to need to do something with the coppers in order to balance this out. So if I put a 2 in front of the copper 2 plus, and therefore a 2 in front of the copper iodide, because those coppers have got to be equal, then now I can put a 4 in front of the iodides. So this means we've got 4 iodine atoms either side, and then our charges will be neutral on the right again, and then we've got 4 plus from the coppers, we've got 4 minus from the iodides, so therefore we've got neutral overall on the left-hand side now. And colour-wise, this is producing an off-white precipitate, so that's our copper iodide. And then the brown solution is the iodine solution. So that means that statement 1 is also correct. So now we can eliminate option C. So the last one to figure out is whether statement 3 is correct as well. So we've already said that our test 1 is a redox reaction, but let's have a think about whether test 2 is a redox reaction as well. So test 2, we've got the reaction of our barium 2 plus ions in solution with the sulfate ions in solution to produce that white barium sulfate precipitate, but we haven't got any change in oxidation states in these ions or compounds. Therefore, test 2 is not going to be a redox reaction. Therefore, statement 3 is incorrect, so our answer is going to be B.